Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. In the previous video we looked at another Wera torque wrench, which was actually one of the 1/4 inch drives. Since the kit was already set up for the tests on that, I decided to take a look at this 3/8 drive torque wrench from Teng Tools that you see in the red box in front of you here. I've had this a wee while. It is one of the Teng Tools Plus torque wrenches. You can see the part number here. Hopefully it is 3892P100. It is a 20 to 100 Newton meter 3/8 drive torque wrench, so it's directly comparable to our Wera B2 click torque wrench at the back there, which is 20 to 100 Newton meters as well. In terms of price, both of these units' recommended retail price is £270. In the UK you can pick both of them up for somewhere around about £150 if you shop around. So looking at it in that respect, you'd hope that this Teng Tools can perform in exactly the same manner or very close to the Wera torque wrench there. So it has got its task set out for it today. That was a very accurate wrench, 0.71% tolerance overall. I'm very happy with that wrench. I've not seen any other torque wrench perform as good as that Wera torque wrench, so it'll be interesting to see how we get along. In terms of what you get in the case with the Teng Tools, obviously this is a blow moulded case as opposed to the sliding cover case that you see for the Wera there, so it's a slightly better case. When you open it up inside, you do have this foam loose kicking around holding the wrench in place. You also have a, call it declaration of conformance, it's a calibration cert really. You see the values there and the tolerance of their test system, so that's all in order. The thing to note, I guess, if you take this piece of foam out, it's just loose. If you lose this, then when you close it all up, your torque wrench will rattle around a little bit. Not too much, but £270, and also I guess with this, the hinge on this is just a standard strip of plastic, so over time you'd expect that to break. Also, the other thing to notice with this is it's a lot of cutouts in this, so it's like a standard case that you use for multiple tools, which I guess is one reason why it might rattle a little bit. And the other thing to notice is that you have this clip with it to hang it up by. If you put the clip into position, it fits into two holes in the side of the handle there, either side of the handle, and you can push it into position. There it is in position, so you can now hang that up on a wall hook or something like that. However, with this in here, when you come to put this back in the case, you can see it will kind of fit, but not very well. It does put a lot of pressure on that hinge. That kind of has to be kinked to the side. If you try and lay it in flat like it should normally do, which it won't do now, you can see that this sticks up above and you then can't close the case. So it's not a brilliant idea. You've kind of got the option either hang it up on the wall or stick it in its blow moulded case. So not my favourite approach. So I mean, it's okay, you get around with it. I guess it's what you're prepared to put up with, aren't you? For a recommended retail price of £270, I would expect something a little bit better, but I guess you'd say that this is better than the case that you get with the Wera torque wrench over there. And you can always glue this bit of foam in if you wanted to stop losing it. So the actual torque wrench itself, in comparison to our Wera torque wrench there, same sort of styling really, and it's certainly the same length. As you see there, this plastic handle that you see with the adjuster and the locking mechanism at the bottom there. Similar sort of scales. The only thing you will see differently with these, what you will see differently with these scales, if I can get them in focus. So on the right hand side there, the Wera torque wrench, you can see that the decimal on the Newton meters and the actual scale is all in the same area. You also have a foot-pound measurement on this side as well, although be at a much smaller scale in comparison. The decimal point for the Teng Tools is at the bottom there. If I hold it out, you can see how far away it is, and then you've got the scale at the top there, just as legible as the other scale, but only Newton meters. There is no foot-pound on this, so if you're in the oldie English, you'll be doing some conversions, or you may not want this kind of torque wrench. So head-wise on this ratchet size, you can see the Teng is quite a bit smaller. It's 72 tooth, whereas this is 45 tooth. They're both reversible on the head here for Teng, and then the lever here for the Wera. Ratchets are quite smooth really for them. There's no real difference that you'd notice in there. And push button to release the socket. The only thing that I have noticed, if I put the socket into the Wera torque wrench, you can see the button still says proud, easy to press, not much of a problem. Whereas for our Teng here, you put the socket in, the button then stays kind of depressed or recessed into the head of the ratchet. You can still press it, it's not too bad, it's just strange how it doesn't seem to pop back out again. I've tried this with specific Teng sockets as well. This is a Ghidorah socket, and it's pretty much the same. It does pop out a little bit further, but it's still notably depressed into the head, whereas you don't get that the same way with the Wera torque wrench over there. Handle-wise, obviously plastic. The Wera on this, the green here are the soft rubber, and the black is smooth hard plastic, whereas on this the red is kind of, it's not hardish plastic, it has a bit of a soft feel to it, but the black has a much softer rubberized feel to it, so it's what you tend to prefer in that manner. Locking mechanism on this is actually a button, so you press it there to lock it in place, and press again to unlock it, and then you can just turn to adjust away. Quite a smooth operation really, much more noticeably smoother than the Wera. The Wera here you have to pull out the handle, which is quite tough, although that might loosen up over time. And then I guess turn wise, not so noticeable the difference there. You get quite a good clicking when you turn this that you tend to notice, that you don't tend to notice with the Teng Tools. It's a much smoother operation. But they both operate very, very nicely. So that's our two wrenches. What we're going to compare against, as per usual, I'll test them against the Ghidorah Dremotest-E that I've got, and we'll see how well we perform. Obviously expecting this to be pretty much as accurate as our Wera torque wrench, given the price that we're paying for these wrenches. Okay, we'll do a few clicks on 25 Newton meters. Hopefully you can see the setting there. It's a much quieter ratchet than some of the other ones really. Can say that's 3 at 25. The other one I did was 40 Newton meters, so we'll just wind him up to that setting. There you go, there's 40 Newton meters. And the final one, a third one at this one. And then our final setting was 70 Newton meters. There's our 70 Newton meters. And I didn't show the 0 on the others either. There's your at 0 there. Should have done that on the other settings as well. So there's your 3 at 70 Newton meters, all well within the tolerance values expected. Okay, we're at the computer now, and I'll put up the usual sets of results that I do for these torque wrenches. You can see the top table here is the raw data I recorded from the measurements, and then in the middle table those measurements have been adjusted based upon the calibration data I have for the Dremotest-E, and then the final section here with the table and the summary underneath is those adjusted readings compared to the specification of the torque wrench, which for this particular one is plus or minus 4%. All the results are within specification. We are 25 Newton meters. They are all 1.43% is the worst one out on that. At 40 Newton meters, we have a 1.58% reading, which is the worst one. And then 70 Newton meters, we are on 0.69 is the worst one for that lot. As I said, all 30 readings are within specification. We've got 100% pass rate, and the average tolerance for this wrench is 0.72%, well below that 4% tolerance, as are each individual test result anyway, really. And as with the previous tests on the Wera wrench, I've now put this into my overall table for the results from all the wrenches I've tested, and you can see the Teng plus 3/8 there is position number 3. The Wera 3/8 wrench that I was comparing it to directly was 0.71%, so there's absolutely nothing between them, is there? That difference there could be quite easily down to my operation of the wrench or the Dremotest-E itself. The best wrench I have is the Wera quarter hex drive one, which was 0.64%. Again, it's not something really worth considering between those 3 wrenches. Next one after that was the Camisar 1/2 inch drive, my 30-year-old wrench, is up at 2% overall average accuracy. So yeah, quite happy with the results from the Teng Plus wrench there. Be interesting to perhaps get hold of another one. I know this is their Plus range. They do a more basic range, very similar in manufacture to the Camisar and the laser wrenches, so it might be interesting to get hold of one of them and just see if that's just as accurate. But at the moment, it's earned its money today. So I hope you found that useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.